why did we build in Washington, D.C.? Well, every capital, really. We took the exact, you know, it's been the Roman Empire. Like, so I know that federal workers have been affected by the government shutdown, but have you, just as an everyday person, has it made any impact? No. So I don't know what those people serve, except themselves and the federal workers. Because really, is there any difference when they're there to when they're not? And yet our whole system is they set it up because it's based on the Roman Republic. Yeah, which, but again, like when you keep taking from the poisonous tree that was the problem, especially the Roman Empire, I don't care if there was this small window when it was a republic, and then it went on to kill the creator of the world. Didn't kill him, but crucified him. Should we really be, did we think that wouldn't have an impact here? But that's what they said, Washington, D.C. was intentionally designed to resemble ancient Rome. Well, great. So see, that's the problem with being enlightened. Like, as much as I love the 18th century founders because they were very brilliant minds, it's that, you're not very bright because you didn't know Jesus. You only believed in his teachings, but your mind was likely too bright, too educated, that, because then you don't even believe that, Jesus Christ rose from the dead, all of that. And then you intentionally designed our country to resemble ancient Rome, to reflect the ideals and symbolism of the Roman Republic and Empire, which deeply inspired the founding fathers of the United States. That's just great. No, it's not. I'm being sarcastic in every way. The city's architecture style, urban planning, and symbolism were influenced by the neoclassical movement, which sought to emulate the grandeur, order, and democratic principles represented by the Roman architecture and urbanism. The U.S. founders admired Roman governance and Republican values, aiming to link the new American Republic with the legacy of the Roman democracy and law. It's just something feels like maybe you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have set up the kingdom the same as that kingdom. Prominent buildings, we know all these. The U.S. Capitol with its dome echoing the Pantheon. The Jefferson Memorial was inspired by the Roman temples. Great. And Union Station modeled on Roman triumphant arches, which convey power, permanence, and classical order. Oh, okay. The National Mall, paralleling the Roman Forum, and that obelisk referencing Roman and Egyptian monuments. Yeah, Egyptian, I don't think that's a good look. Yeah, nothing against Egypt today, but just given the history, like we really should have started fresh with something new so that the neoclassical style expressed enlightenment, values of reason, civic virtue, and justice, idealized through the lens of Roman antiquity as a model for the new nation's identity and authority. Oh, yeah. So, okay, well, it just explains so much. So, there was this big Rome fire happened during Nero. It was in 64 AD. This was his palace. You see all these up here? All the statues. You know that that's on the Vatican too, right? Yeah. Yeah. No big deal though. So we didn't learn from history, did we? Did not learn at all from history. We're going to take from the poisonous tree, but we're going to do it differently. Golden House of Rome, the outstanding palace of Nero. Yeah, I mean, you talk about outstanding. I mean, talk about it had like a moving floor, and just to follow up what I was just saying, despite Romans' pagan history and its role in persecuting early Christians, the symbolism used in Washington was interpreted through the lens of Enlightenment ideals and democratic philosophy rather than pagan worship. Yeah, so that, not a good look. But that's what I'm saying, like that Enlightenment thing, as much as they're brilliant men, they get too enlightened to where that it's like that something's missing then. That's why they had a hard time believing that Jesus was really, they believed in Jesus, but they believed like everybody but Christians, is that he was a philosopher, he was a teacher. It's only Christians that believe the whole story. And I think that that's what makes us the most enlightened. I do. Everybody wants to say the enlightened crowd was, they were the common sense group. Yeah, but see, I don't think it's common sense to not believe in Jesus. I mean, his whole story, not just, oh, he was a good teacher. But see, I don't think you'll know that unless you know the Holy Spirit. But they wouldn't bother with that. Nobody bothers with that. But that's all because of this. It's all because of Rome. So then when you set up your kingdom to look like Rome, I just don't see good outcomes with that. So Nero had a rotating dining room floor in his palace to imitate the motion of the celestial bodies, recreating the movement of the heavens. This luxurious circular dining hall, called the Rotunda, revolved day and night, powered likely by water from a nearby aqueduct that turned a system of gears, and that's just going through. But it gave panoramic views of the city, creating a dazzling, immersive experience. The ceilings were also lined with ivory and had pipes to shower guests with perfumes and falling flowers, enhancing the sense of being under a heavenly vault. It's sort of like what I was saying the Vatican does. They do that incense, and they have all this big cathedral and dome, and it's just all this gold everywhere, and it's just, and it makes you feel like, oh, I'm having this experience, but it's all just, it's all just hocus pocus. And this was Nero's palace. Yeah, right here, I should have, that's a big statue of bronze statue of Nero. Look at how many statues we have just in the Capitol alone. Like, I think that when you create the atmosphere of the very people that, the very government that was to look exactly, like Rome, and they nailed the creator to a cross, then I think eventually this is what you get. You get this government system, as much as I think our Constitution, the original, not all the crap that's been added, but, the original Constitution, it had something to stand on, okay? But I don't even know why these people are there. What do they say? It's just pointless. It's pointless. When there's a government shutdown and it in no way affects you, like the everyday people, then doesn't it make you stop and wonder, then why do we have all these people anyway? Whether they're there or not, nothing ever changes. It doesn't matter if they were there when they opened back up. Will you notice anything different? No. I think it's time to cut it all like down to 30%.